I now call up Faith Baudet to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please remain standing for the national anthem.
Please be seated. Good afternoon. I'm extremely honored to welcome you all, family, friends, and guests to the 22 Thomas Jefferson 8th grade graduation ceremony. In order to make this great event possible, I have several people to thank. I first would like to thank our 8th grade advisors, Mrs. Danielle Ferrone and Mrs. Amy D. Felice, for their work with our great parent group, teachers, students, and myself to make our 8th grade events possible this year. I thank our parent fundraising group who put in all the tireless work with us for some great events for our 8th grade students, such as our 8th grade dance and 2 field trips, paying for caps and gowns and more. Thank you all for your tremendous work and your partnership. I must thank our office staff of Jean Swanek and Nicole Fernandez. The two of them are the true guardians of the building for all of us and our students. And after her 3 years with us, after what feels like much longer, it's also sad for me to announce that Ms. Fernandez will be leaving us. Please join me in thanking Jean and Nicole. Come on. Thank you to Morris Hills High School for always providing us with an outstanding venue for our graduation. Our 8th graders will be in good hands with Mr. Torriello and his staff. I must thank our Board of Education and Mr. Greco, who I'm so thankful to for their great support for the work that we all do in Thomas Jefferson School. I'm proud to have several of the children of our board members graduating with us this afternoon as well. I thank our teachers of the 8th grade students. Many of the 8th grade teachers have been with these students for most, if not their entire time in Rockaway Borough. Others have only been with them for the last 1 or 2 years. All have worked tirelessly to prepare these students for the years that lay ahead and in life. I've seen so many of our teachers and students connect with each other on so many different levels. Thank you to our teaching staff. And finally, we thank all of you, the families of Rockaway Borough. Helping to shape the life of a young man or woman takes a partnership between home and school. Throughout the years, we have all learned from each other, and we've all contributed to the preparation of this class of students as they move on. Thank you all. Graduates, this day is always a proud moment for me. I know it's equally for your teachers and family. In just a few minutes, you will officially be graduates of 8th grade. And after 3 years of turbulence in society, it is even more important than ever before to celebrate the successes, no matter how big or small. You should all be extremely proud of yourselves and your accomplishments. But know that this isn't nearly the end of the road for you. For some of you, it will not be the end of your time in Rockaway Borough either. And one thing I've learned is that you never forget where you came from. Rockaway Borough is a special and unique place. Where else will you find that your child is in a lunch bunch group to help them socialize with other kids? Where else is there a National Junior Honor Society with cake and candle lighting to celebrate great academic achievements? Where else are parents working with school and forming fundraising groups because it's the only way their kids can keep large-scale field trips? Where else do they throw pies in the faces of principals and duct tape them to the wall to promote good attendance? Where else does a parent reach out to ask you if they can rent an ice cream truck for an entire 8th grade class and all of the 8th grade teachers? Thank you, Revecchios. Where else does a community come together to have a tricky tray to raise money for the HSA, and the parents are yelling at the superintendent because he's not announcing the numbers loud enough? Where else do we have championship parades for the sports teams on golf carts, and the parents come in droves to celebrate and hand out flowers and balloons? Where else do we jam a tiny farmhouse gym with family members to watch a middle school basketball game, not to mention during COVID, and we are still wearing masks to keep each other healthy? Where else do we have a school Class 3 officer taking kids on rides on the district tractor because they did a great job in school after they suffered during home instruction last year? Where else does an aide go on a roller coaster at Great Adventure with a kid, even though the kid is scared as heck, but the aide hopes that the kid will have a good time and just wants him to try it? Where else can a kid do an impersonation of his baseball coach's team speech from the game they lost in the playoffs, and we all, including the coach, laugh at it? Where else do we have families rally for teachers or other community members who are facing such tough times like family illness or loved ones passing away? Where else do the high schoolers come back to the middle school that they graduated from on their half days to visit their teachers? Where else is a kid a name and not a number? These are all instances of family and school coming together for the sake of our kids. I can speak firsthand. I've worked in 4 different school districts before and in between my stops in Rockaway Borough. Each district unique in its own way, and many of the districts were very different from one another. None is like Rockaway Borough. We don't do everything right here. Nobody's perfect, but we will work on it to do what's best for our kids. And you won't find many places, I'm sure they're out there, but they're few and far between like us, where we are all at our best when we join together, family and school, where we are family here and there's nothing like it. Of course, there's been ups and downs, and like I alluded to in my speech during our awards ceremony, during these past few years especially, we have all gone through so many challenges, whether it be ourselves or loved ones suffering through COVID, challenges in the workplace, home, school, or any of the above. And sometimes by the end of their time at TJ, some have the mindset of, what a great school and a great town, or I'm so happy to finally move into a new place. And both are fair perspectives, but this is a unique place, and our children are fortunate to have grown up here. Whether they're a lifer and were born and raised in Rockaway Borough, or they moved here just this past year, they'll always have a piece of Rockaway Borough in them, and they'll always have been a Ram. And you're all lucky to have been here for a period of time in your lives. There's a song that the Beatles wrote called Blackbird, and it was written about the civil rights troubles in the late 60s in the South. And Paul McCartney wanted to write this song to give people hope. Blackbird singing in the dead of night. Take those broken wings and learn to fly. All your life, you were only waiting for this moment to arise. Graduates, the moment has come for you. From this little town in Rockaway Borough, you are ready to fly. Some of you will stay in Rockaway Borough and some will leave, but you will always be from a small town and a community that cares about you, where we have all come together for you. You had your ups and you had your downs, and every single moment in your life, every challenge you faced, and every success you've celebrated made you into the person you are today, and now you've reached another milestone. Don't forget where you're from, because these are your roots, and be proud of them. But now you've reached the moment in your life when you're ready to fly. You are waiting all of your life for this moment. The choice is yours and what happens next. You have absolute and total control. Now fly and be the best you that you can be. Thank you. I now call Mr. Matteo Rossi salutatorian. Give a speech. One second. Hold on 1 second.
Good evening to all parents, family, teachers, administrators, staffs, and my fellow peers. My name is Matteo Rossi, and I am this year's salutatorian. First off, I just want to thank everyone for being here today to celebrate the graduation of the Thomas Jefferson Middle School class of 2022. Here we are, graduating after 5 years at Thomas Jefferson Middle School. But what does it really mean to graduate? I Googled it and I got a list of about 1 billion results for the word to graduate. But the definition that I liked the most and the one that made sense to me the most is this one. To graduate means to change gradually. This is what these past 5 years in middle school have been for all of us. A gradual change that has led to who we are today in this particular moment, here and now. We all know that change is not always easy, but we are proof that with change comes greatness. Standing here in front of you, I could say that you are great, each and every one of you in your own different way. My wish to all of you, my friends of the graduating class of 2022, is to always be you, be different, be kind, embrace yourself, recognize and use your unique greatness to the fullest, and don't let anyone stop you or tell you otherwise. And when you need to look back, may you always find good memories and a smile on the many school activities that brought us together, such as sports, field trips, band, the musical, after-school clubs, fundraisers, dances, and even everyday lunches. On behalf of the graduating class of 2022, thank you to all the teachers. You made us smarter and gave us moments that we will always cherish and hold on to. And thank you to the entire staff at Thomas Jefferson. You made it happen. And finally, to my parents, family, and friends. You have always been there for me and inspired me to be who I truly am. Thank you. Now, let me leave you with some wise words from my fellow friends at TJ. As Emily said, I would like to thank my arms for always being by my side and my legs for supporting me through all the hard times. And as Jeremy said, these were some great times. And at last, from Evan, bye-bye.
And now please join me in recognizing the Presidential Academic Excellence recipients. Keon Andrews. Faith Baudet. Carly Haig. Anthony Iapika. Caitlin McGovern. Emily Mendola. Emily Patrick. Nicole Rivera. Matteo Rossi. And Dylan Turner. You may be seated. Thank you. And now, class valedictorian Faith Baudet.
Good evening, teachers, faculty, family, friends, and most importantly, classmates. I hope you're all doing well. I'm Faith O'Day, and I'm this year's valedictorian. I'd like to start with just saying, wow, we're here. After 5 years at Thomas Jefferson, less for some, we've made it. Every day leading up to this moment, I just keep thinking about how close graduation is. It just doesn't feel real. Even standing here, right now, I can barely believe we're done with middle school. And so, I thank everyone for coming here today to celebrate the graduation of all these amazing students. I'm so proud to be part of Thomas Jefferson's class of 2022 graduates. Every single one of my classmates has worked hard to get where they are today, and I hope they know how much they deserve the caps on their heads. So I'd like to start with a little story. I'm sure you've all heard of Aesop's famous fable, The Tortoise and the Hare. If you haven't, I'll summarize. A tortoise is ridiculed by a hare. The tortoise challenges the hare to a race. When they start the race, the hare leaves the tortoise in the dust. I mean, he's absolutely miles ahead, and so he's so confident he'll win that he takes a nap halfway. And while he's napping, the tortoise keeps going. So when the hare wakes up, he finds that the tortoise has crossed the finish line and won. As we all know, the main moral of the story is, slow and steady wins the race. The class of 2022 has really exemplified this. The past few years have been, to say the least, difficult. A little over 2 years ago, none of us could have imagined the challenges we'd be facing. It all happened so suddenly and definitely took its toll. And yet, here we are today, proud graduates, strengthened by our perseverance during hard times. We've had our ups and downs, but we've steadily made it over the mountains in our way. It was difficult, and there were times where it felt like we were walking through a dark tunnel with no light in sight. But what is important is that we kept walking. We kept going, kept trying, kept working, kept adapting, kept hoping, and above all, we kept being there for each other. It's been slow, but we've steadily persisted, and we've made it. We haven't done it alone, though. There are many thanks to give to all those who have helped us along this journey. I'd like to start by thanking our teachers, both new and old. Many have said themselves that the past 2 years have been the hardest in their teaching career. Even so, I know I speak not only for myself, but also my peers when I say that our teachers have made this school year an extraordinary one. Thank you for all you've taught us, for pushing us to improve every day, and especially for putting up with our silly shenanigans. I'd like to thank my friends for being my cheerleaders, my comfort, and my competition. They're always there to give me a good laugh when I need a break. I'd like to thank my family for making me into who I am today. I would have never been standing here without them inspiring me to strive for my very best and getting me back on my feet when I felt like giving up. Last but not least, I'd like to thank my fellow graduates. Whether you've been in Rockaway Borough for 1 year or 14, every one of you is an important part of the class of 2022. So today, let's celebrate how far we've come and how far we still have to go. Thomas Jefferson Middle School has been an important part of our lives, giving us opportunities, knowledge, and nurturing our skills. I love middle school, and I'll say it again, it just doesn't feel real that it's ending. However, I'm also excited to move on to the next step in life, high school. I am 100% confident when I say each student here is talented. We all have what it takes to succeed. Virat Kohli phrases it perfectly when he says, self-belief and hard work will always earn you success. Now, success may not always come as fast as you want it or the way you expected it, but if you believe in yourself, work diligently, and keep persevering, you will succeed. In the wise words of Walt Disney, if you can dream it, you can do it. So dream big, work hard, be courageous, be you, and never let anyone, not even yourself, tell you that you can't.
And now the final address from our superintendent, Mr. Anthony Greco.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening, graduates. Welcome to the Thomas Jefferson Class of 22 graduation. I'd like to quickly start off by thanking many people. I know a lot of these people have already been thanked already, but I have to. The Rockaway Board of Education, thank you for doing everything that you do to support our students and staff. David Waxman, our principal, our district administration, our support staff, and certificated staff, which includes our teachers and all staff. Special thanks goes out to Nicole Fernandez and Jean Swanik for always going above and beyond the call of duty and helping to run the school. Thank you to our 8th grade advisors, Ms. DeFelice and Ms. Ferrone. The hard work that you put in to ensure that our students are successful does not go unnoticed. I actually had the pleasure of going on the 8th grade trip to Philadelphia, and just the relationships that I could tell were established over the course of the year, and the struggle that this year has been was a special thing to see. I think it was a mutual relationship on both ends, and it was really nice to see. I've really never seen it before in 20 years, almost as an administrator, and more than that, as in education. I would also like to thank our custodial maintenance staff, who obviously help with things like this tonight, as well as things on site. Morris Hills for letting us use this nice facility. Parents, thank you for making a commitment as well. Thank you for your support. Students, I hope you know how much they care about you and how much they love you. And last but not least, I'd like to thank our students for making the commitment that they do every day on a daily basis. All right, a few things I want to point out tonight. On March 13th, 2020, you were in 6th grade. You went home for 2 weeks, looking forward to being back probably at the end of March. Maybe it was going to be a month. Maybe we'll be back in June. What's Google Meet? What's Zoom? What's the difference? Well, we know how this all ended up. I'm not going to revisit the entire pandemic, but I will tell you that none of us were ever the same since. New terminology, contact tracing, social distancing, quarantine. I think some of us have heard of quarantine, but not every day, multiple times. Hybrid, cleaning day. Don't you guys clean every day? New ways of going about our day-to-day. Lunch, classroom instruction, maybe not being in groups as much. In essence, as educators, essentially we were making things up, throwing it against the wall and seeing if it would stick. Guidance was minimal. Some districts were doing this, some districts were doing that. Hopefully all of this is behind us. We have done our best to ensure that this year, your last year in the Rockaway Borough School District, which, as we know from the last few speeches, is a very special place, was a special one. We tried our best to give you as many experiences as we could and as many as students have had in the past. In saying all of this, you persevered through all of it, probably a lot better than your adult counterparts, me included. Perseverance is defined as persistence in doing something despite difficulty or delay in achieving success. That sounds exactly like what you did. All right, I'm going to make the sports analogy, Mr. Waxman. Reggie Jackson was a baseball player who played from 1967 to 1987. He once said, "I feel that the most important requirement in success is learning to overcome failure. You must learn to tolerate it, but never accept it." This quote encompasses a lot to me personally. How can you really know the thrill of victory without the agony of defeat? This is not a quote just about sports, but more so a quote about life. You've probably heard of the actor Denzel Washington. He actually included Reggie Jackson in a quote about falling forward, which then made me research into Reggie Jackson. I don't sleep a lot, so here's the quote from Denzel Washington. "Fall forward. Here's what I mean. Reggie Jackson struck out 2,600 times in his career, the most in the history of baseball. But you don't hear about the strikeouts. People remember the home runs. Fall forward. Thomas Edison conducted 1,000 failed experiments. Did you know that? I didn't either, because number 1001 was the light bulb. Fall forward. Every failed experiment is one step closer to success. By the way, Reggie Jackson is in the Baseball Hall of Fame. He had a flair for the dramatic. When he was on the Yankees, he was nicknamed Mr. October because of his success in the World Series. He wasn't necessarily the best player or athlete at times in the league or even on his team. I would tell you this much, though. When he got up at bat or was in the on-deck circle, nobody went to go get a snack or use the restroom. If you watched his strikeouts, they were a thing of beauty. I hope you take the academic, social, emotional, and critical thinking skills experienced and learned in our hallways, classrooms, offices, stages, fields, and courts, and utilize them moving forward. As you move forward, be positive. Speak to people positively. Hug your family tonight after graduation. Don't focus on the negative. Be lifelong learners. Never stop learning in whatever it is that you're interested in. Or maybe that you're not interested in and you can become interested in. You can always learn new things, new ways, new ideas. When I was a newer parent, a family member heard me telling or maybe yelling at my 2-year-old, "Don't eat on the couch." I was told to tell him by this wise family member, tell him, eat at the table. I had to think about it. The end result is the same, right? He's going to eat at the table. The difference is it shifted my focus to the goal of eating at the table as opposed to focusing on the obstacle of eating at the couch. It's your choice after tonight. Be the goal or be the obstacle. You'll beat me by about 30 years, maybe a little bit more, if you can get this right moving forward. Congratulations and continued success in your future endeavors, high school and beyond. Congratulations, guys.
I certify that these candidates for graduation have fully satisfied the necessary requirements to graduate. For the presentation of diplomas, I call up Superintendent Mr. Anthony Greco, Board of Education Vice President Dr. Alexis Pambino, and Board of Education member Mrs. Linda McGovern. First row, please stand. Shirley Acosta Sanchez. Akuna Agbo. LaJohn Alexis. Keon Andrews. Lenar Barrientos. Justin Benitez. Faith Baudet. Matteo Rossi. Emma Senti. Ashley Chavez. Justin Clapsey. Jeremy Colon. Quinn Kraus. Chanel Escalante. Second row, please stand. Emma Gebbia. Ran Grewell. Carly Haig. Sonia Hansen. Michael Hernandez. Scarlett Hernandez. Anthony Iapika. Kenji Arias. Natalie Isia Orr. Melanie Janania. Caitlin Keating. Evan Landry. Connor Lee. Caitlin Lynch. Third row, please stand. Caitlin McGovern. Emily Mendola. Angelo Mendoza. Ella Mitchko. Shaylin Moog. Marcus Murphy. Maria Nunez. Not with us tonight is Brew Paynton. Emily Patrick. AJ Pambino. Alexander Pruden. Alexis Quintero. Nicole Rivera. Anthony Rivecchio. Fourth row, please stand. John Elise Rodriguez. Victoria Maria Rodriguez. Jorge Rojas. Damian Sanchez. Leah Scalzo. Anthony Safe. Jacob Soriano. Dylan Turner. Jordan Zeke. Jonathan Zimmerman. Nicholas Zuzio. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the graduating class of 2022.